Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapatakalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye पञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमां विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
So, bro, can I read this?
yes, bro.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayesu Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavat Srinatam Sakatha Krishna Punya Savana Kirtana Adyandasto Vibhadrani Vitranot Surisatam नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमस्तोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिके थैंक यू प्रभु.
Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shri Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma Supersoul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the true devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee, who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead who is praised with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. And the Gaudiya Vaishnava ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna, Pranjal Prabhu and Rishikesh Prabhu, Tanat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Who would like to read first today?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Prabhu, can I read?
Yes, Prabhu.
Text 33. नैवात्मनि महीन्द्राय रोषम् अहर्तुम् अर्हसि उभौ अपि भद्रं तु उत्तमश्लोकविग्रहौ. Synonyms: not eva, certainly; atmani, non-different from you; maha indraya, on on the king of heaven; indra, rosham, anger; ahartum, to apply; arhasi. Prabhu, is it the letters are full, right? Or is it cut?
Yes, Prabhu, it's fortune.
No, the upper one. The arhasi, that
You out, I think.
you have. And the Maha-Indriya one,
Upon
Hare
the King of
Krishna
Heaven.
Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam to all of you. Jai Sri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Sandaknam Jai Shri Prabhupada. No, not eva certainly Atmane, non-different from you, Maha-Indraya, upon the king of heaven, Indra, Roshan, anger, or Tum, to apply Arhasi, you out, Ubahu, both of you, Api, certainly, he also, Patram, good fortune, Te unto you, Uttama Vigraho, incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation purpose and translation. Lord Brahma continued, let there be good fortune to you, to both of you. For you and King Indra are both part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you should not be angry with King Indra, who is non-different from you. Text 34. Masmin Maharaja Krita Sma Chintam निशाम निशामयस्मत् वचाअत्रतात्मा यद्ध्यायतो दैवहतानुकर्तुं मनोतिरुष्टं विशते तमोन्धं do not asmin in this Maharaja O king Kritaha do sma as done in the past chintam agitation of the mind nishamaya. Please consider Asmat, my vacha words, Adrita Atma, being very respectful, yet because Dhyayata of he who is contemplating Daivahatam, that which is thwarted by province, Nu, certainly, Kartum, of Kartum to do, Mana, the mind, Atirushtam, very angry, Vishate enters Tama, darkness, Andam, dense. Translation. My dear king, don't be agitated and anxious because your sacrifices have not been properly executed due to providential impediments. Kindly take my words with great respect. We should always remember that if something happens by providential arrangement, we should not be very sorry. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thought. Purport. Sometimes the saintly or very religious person also has to meet with reversals in life. Such incidents should be taken as providential. Although there may be sufficient cause for being unhappy, one should avoid counteracting such reversals because the more we become implicated in rectifying such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest regions of material anxiety. Lord Krishna has also advised us in this connection. We should tolerate things instead of becoming agitated. Very good verse, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Text 35. परतुर्विरात्मतम् एषा देवेषु दुर्वगाग्रहः धर्मव्याप्तिकरो यत्र पाखण्डैरिन्द्रनिर्मिता कृतौ. The sacrifice, Viramatam, noted stop, Esha, this Deveshu, amongst the demigods, Duravagraha, addiction to unwanted things, Dharma Vyatigraha, violation of religious principles, Yatra, where, Pakhandai, by sinful activities, Indra, by king of heaven, Nirmita, manufactured. Translation. Lord Brahma continued, stop the performance of these sacrifices, for they have induced Indra to introduce so many religious aspects. You should know very well that even amongst the demigods there are many unwanted desires. Purport. There are many competitors in ordinary business affairs and the Karmakanda. Chapters of the Vedas sometimes cause competition and envy amongst karmis. A karmi must be envious because He wishes to enjoy material pleasures to their fullest extent. That is the material desire. Consequently, there is always competition amongst karmis, either in ordinary business affairs or in the performance of yajna. Lord Brahma's purpose was to end the competition between Lord Indra and Maharaj Prithu, because Maharaj Prithu was a great devotee and incarnation of God. He was requested to stop the sacrifices so that Indra might not further introduce irreligious systems which are always followed by community-minded people. Text 36. Ebhir Indropasham Pushtai Pakhandir Haribhir Janam Riyamanam Vichakshvainam Yasti Yatnat Ashwamut. By these Indra Upashram Shishtai created by the king of heaven, Indra. Pakande's sinful activities, Haribi, very attractive to the heart, Janam, the people in general, Hiyamanam, being carried away, Vichakshva, just see, Enam, these, Yah, one who, they, your, Yajnatruk, creating a disturbance in the performance of the sacrifice, Ashwamut, who stole the horse. Translation: just see how Indra, the king of heaven, was creating a disturbance in the midst of the sacrifice by stealing the sacrificial horse. These attractive sinful activities, which he has introduced, will be carried out by people in general. Purport: as stated in Bhagavad Gita, yad yad acharati shreshtas tat tat eva taro jana siyat pramanam kurute lokas tad anuvartate. Whatever action is performed by a great man, common man follows in his footsteps, and whatever standard he sets by exemplary acts, all world pursues. Bhagavad Gita 3:21. For his own sense gratification, King Indra thought to defeat Maharaj Prithu in the performance of 100 horse sacrifices. Consequently, he stole the horse and hid himself amid so many irreligious personalities taking on the guise of a false sannyasi. Such activities are attractive to the people in general, therefore they are dangerous. Lord Brahma thought that instead of allowing Indra to further introduce such irreligious systems, it would be better to stop the sacrifice. A similar stance was taken by Lord Buddha when people were overly engrossed in the animal sacrifices recommended by the Vedic instructions. Lord Buddha had to introduce the religion of non-violence by contradicting the Vedic sacrificial instructions. Actually, in these sacrifices, the slaughtered animals were given a new life, but people without such powers were taking advantage of such Vedic rituals and unnecessarily killing poor animals. Therefore, Lord Buddha had to deny the authority of Vedas for the time being. One should not perform sacrifices that will induce reversed orders. It is better to stop such sacrifices, as we have repeatedly explained. Due to lack of qualified Brahminical priests in Kali Yuga, it is not possible to perform the ritualistic ceremonies recommended in the Vedas. Consequently, the Shastras instruct us to perform Sankirtana Yajna. By the Sankirtana sacrifice, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his form of Lord Chaitanya will be satisfied and worshipped. The entire purpose of performing sacrifices is to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna is present in his form of Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, people who are intelligent should try to satisfy him by performing Sankirtan Yajna. This is the easiest way to satisfy Lord Vishnu in this age. People should take advantage of the injunctions in different shastras concerning sacrifices in this age and not create unnecessary disturbances during the sinful age of Kali. In Kali Yuga, men all over the world are very expert in opening slaughterhouses for killing animals, which they eat. If the old ritualistic ceremonies were observed, people would be encouraged to kill more and more animals. In Calcutta, there are many butcher shops which keep a deity of the goddess Kali, and animal eaters think it proper to purchase animal flesh from such shops in hope that they are eating the remnants of food offered to goddess Kali. They do not know that goddess Kali never accepts non-vegetarian food because she is the chaste wife of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is also a great Vaishnava and never eats non-vegetarian food, and the goddess Kali accepts the remnants of food left by Lord Shiva. Therefore, there is no possibility of her eating flesh or fish. Such offerings are accepted by the associates of goddess Kali, known as Bhutas, Pishashas, and Rakshasas, and those who take the prasada of goddess Kali in the shape of flesh or fish are not actually taking the prasada left by goddess Kali, but the food left by the Bhutas and Pishachas.
Vinay's purport.
Text 37. Bhavan paritratum ihavattato ihavatirno dharman dharmam jananam samyunanurupam venapacharat avaluptam adya tadhe hato Vishnu kala Shri Vainya Bhavan, Your Majesty, paritratum, just to deliver Iha in this world, avatirna, incarnated dharmam, religious systems, jananam, of people in general, samya anurupam, according to the time and circumstances. Vena apacharat, by the mysteries of King Vena, Avaluptam, almost vanished, are there at the present moment, that is, Dehata, from the body, Vishnu of Lord Vishnu, Kala, part of plenary portion, Asi, you are, Vainya, O son of King Vena. Translation: O King Prithu, son of Vena, you are the part and parcel expansion of Lord Vishnu. Due to mischievous activities of King Vena, religious principles were almost lost. At the opportune moment, you descended as the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Indeed, for the protection of religious principles, you have appeared from the body of King Vena. Purport: this is the way in which Lord Vishnu kills the demons and protects the faithful is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Paritrānaya sadhunām vināṣāya च dushritām dharma samsthapanāthāya sambhavami yuge yuge. In order to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I advent myself millennium after millennium. Bhagavad Gita 4:8. In two hands, Lord Vishnu carries a club and a chakra to kill demons, and in his other two hands he holds a conch shell and a lotus to give protection to his devotees. When his incarnation is present on this planet or in this universe, the Lord kills the demons and protects his devotees simultaneously. Sometimes Lord Vishnu appears in his person as Lord Krishna or Lord Rama. All of these appearances are mentioned in the Shastras. Sometimes he appears as a Shaktavisha avatar, like Lord Buddha, and as explained before, these Shaktavisha avatars are incarnations of Lord Vishnu's power invested in a living entity. Living entities are also part and parcel of Lord Vishnu, but they are not as powerful. Therefore, when a living entity descends as an incarnation of Vishnu, he is especially empowered by the Lord. When King Prithu is described as an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, it should be understood that he is a Shaktavisha avatar, part and parcel of Lord Vishnu, and is specifically empowered by him. Any living being acting as the incarnation of Lord Vishnu is thus empowered by Lord Vishnu to preach the Bhakti cult. Such a person can act like Lord Vishnu and defeat demons by arguments and preach the Bhakti cult exactly according to the principles of Shastra. As indicated in Bhagavad Gita, whenever we find someone extraordinary preaching the Bhakti cult, we should know that he is especially empowered by Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, as confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna Shakti Vinanahi Tara Pravartana. One cannot explain the glories of the holy name of the Lord without being specifically empowered by him. If one criticizes or finds fault with such an empowered personality, one is to be considered an offender against Lord Vishnu and is punishable, even though such offenders may dress as Vaishnava with false tilak and mala. They are never forgiven by the Lord if they offend a pure Vaishnava. There are many instances of this in the Shastras. Very powerful statement. Text 38. Satvam vimirshasya bhavam prajapate sankalpanam vishvasrijam pipiri ऐन्द्रं चमयम् उपाधर्ममतरं प्रचण्ड पाखण्डपथं प्रभो जयि सह the aforesaid Tvam, you, Vimarsha, considering Asya of the word, Bhavam, existence, Prajapate, O protector of the people, Shankalpanam, of the determination, Vishwasrijam, of the progenitors of the world, Viprihi, just fulfill Indram created by the king of heaven, here also Mayam illusion, Upa Dharma of the irreligious systems of so-called sannyasa, Mataram, the mother, Prachanda, furious, dangerous, Pakhanda Patham, the path of sinful activities, Prabhu, O Lord Jahi, please conquer. Translation, O protector of the people in general, please consider the purpose of your being incarnated by Lord Vishnu. The irreligious principles created by Indra are but mothers of so many unwanted religions. Please therefore stop these imitations immediately. Purport: Lord Brahma addresses King Prithu as Prajapati, just to remind him of his great responsibility in maintaining the peace and prosperity of the citizens. Maharaj Prithu was empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead for this purpose only. It is the duty of the ideal king to see that people are properly executing religious principles. Lord Brahma especially requested King Prithu to conquer the pseudo-religious principles produced by King Indra. In other words, it is the duty of the state or king to put a stop to pseudo-religious systems produced by unscrupulous persons. Originally, a religious principle is one given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it comes through the channel of disciplic succession in two forms. Lord Brahma requested Maharaj Prithu to desist in his unnecessary competition with Indra, who was determined to stop Maharaj Prithu from completing 100 yajnas. Instead of creating adverse reactions, it was better for Maharaj Prithu to stop the yajnas in the interest of his original purpose as an incarnation. This purpose was to establish good government and set things in right order. Text 39. Maitreya Vacha Ittam Saloka Guruna Samadhishto Vishampati Tatha Cha Kritva Shalyam Maghonapi Cha Sadade. Maitreya Vacha, the great sage Maitreya continued to speak. Ittam, thus Saha King Prithu Loka Guruna, by the original teacher of all people, Lord Brahma, Samadhishta being advised, Vishampati, king, master of the people, Tatha in that way, Cha also, Kritva having done, Vatsalyam affection, Magona with Indra, Api even, Cha also, Sandade concluded peace. Translation, Prabhu, you can scroll down. The great sage Maitreya continued, when King Prithu was thus advised by the supreme teacher Lord Brahma, he abandoned his eagerness to perform yajnas and with great affection concluded a peace with King Indra. Text 40. Pritva Pritasnaya Prithave Bhuri Karmane Varan Daduste Varada Te Yetat Praharshi Tarpita Prita having performed Avaprita Snanaya taking bath after the sacrifice. Prithave unto King Prithu Bhuri Karmane famous for performing many virtuous acts. Varan benedictions Tadu gave they all of them. Varada the demigods with showers of benedictions. Yehu Barhishi in the performance of such a yajna. Tarpita became pleased. Translation. After this, Maharaj Prithu took his bath, which is customarily taken after the performance of a yajna, and received the benedictions and due to the blessings of demigods who were very pleased by his glorious activities. Purport. Yajna means Lord Vishnu, for all yajna is meant to please Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. Since the demigods automatically become very pleased with the performance of sacrifice, they bestow benediction upon the executors of yajnas. When one pours water on the root of a tree, the branches, trunks, twigs, flowers, and leaves are all satisfied. Similarly, when one gives food to the stomach, all parts of the body are rejuvenated. In the same way, if one simply satisfied Lord Vishnu by the performance of yajna, one satisfies all the demigods automatically. In turn, the demigods offer their benediction to such a devotee. A pure devotee, therefore, does not ask benedictions directly from the demigods. His only business is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, he is never in need of those things supplied by demigods. Text 41. Vitra Satyashri तुष्टा श्रद्धया लब्ध दक्षिणा आशीषो युयुभ्यो तत्तर adhirado satkrita vipara all the brahmanas satya to ashisha whose benedictions tushta being very satisfied shraddhaya with great respect labdha dakshina who obtained rewards ashisha benedictions he too offered krita o vidura adirajaya upon the original king satkrita being honored. Translation. With great respect the original king Prithu offered all kinds of rewards to the Brahmanas present at the sacrifice. Since all these Brahmanas were very much satisfied, they gave their heartfelt blessings to the king. Text 42. त्वया हुता महाबाहो सर्व एव समागता पूजिता दानवानाभ्यं पितृदेवर्षिमानवा त्वया वायु ahuta were invited Mahabaho, O great mighty armed one. Survey all eva certainly samagata assembled, pujita were honored, dana by charity, manabhyam and by respect, Pitir, the inhabitants of Pitraloka, Deva, demigods, Rishi, great sages, Manava, as well as common men. Translation. All the great sages and Brahmanas said, O mighty king, by your invitation, all classes of living entities have attended this assembly. They have come from Pitraloka and the heavenly planets, and great sages as well as common men have attended this meeting. Now all of them are very much satisfied by your dealing and charity toward them. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purport of the fourth canto, 19th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam entitled King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices. Haribo Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Oh, Haribo.
How many chapters is in the fourth canto? 31. So we have one more part. Okay, I think tomorrow we continue, or we can see now if we find it. Thank you so much, Rishikesh Prabhu. What is the what is this 4.2? Is it this one? 4.3 or 2?
So, Prabhu, we are going to start today.
Maybe. Let's see. We have 20 minutes. Oh, it's not this one. Prabhu, so who would like to continue? We have like 10 minutes more.
हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा प्रभु दंडोत प्रणाम जोसफ
Hare
प्रभुपाद
Krishna, Prabhu Tanda Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhu.
Bhagavatam Canto 4 Chapter 20 Lord Vishnu's appearance in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Prithu. Text number 1 Maitre Uvacha Bhagavan api Vaikuntha sakam Magavata vibhu yagner yagnepatistushto Yagnabhuktam Abhashata. Synonyms. Maitreya Uvacha. The great sage Maitreya continued to speak. Bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead Vishnu. Api also. Vaikuntha, the Lord of Vaikuntha. Sakam, along with Magavat, Magavata, King Indra. Vibhu, the Lord. Yagne, by the sacrifices. Yagnapati, the Lord of all yagnas. Tushta, sacrificed. Yagbhuk, the enjoyer of the yagna. Tam, unto King Prithu. Abhashata, said. Translation. The great king, the great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, being very much satisfied by the performance of 99 horse sacrifices, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, appeared on the scene. Accompanying him was King Indra. Lord Vishnu then began to speak. Text number 2. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. एषते कार्षिद्भङ्गं हयमेधसतस्य क्षमापयत आत्मानम् अमुष्य क्षन्तुमर्हसि. Synonyms. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, spoke. Esha, this Lord Indra, te, your Akarshit, performed. Bhangam, disturbance. Haya, horse. Medha, sacrificed. Satasya, of the 100th. Ha, indeed. Kshamapayata, one who is asking pardon. Atmanam, onto yourself. Amusha, him. Kshantum, to forgive. Arhasi, you out. Translation. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, said, my dear King Prithu, Indra, the King of Heaven, has disturbed your execution of 100 sacrifices. Now he has come with me to be forgiven by you. Therefore, excuse him. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this verse, the word Atmanam is very significant. It is a custom among yogis and jnanis to address one another, even an ordinary man, as one's own self. For transcendentalist never accepts a living being to be the body, since the individual self is a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The self and the super self are qualitatively non-different. As the next verse will explain, the body is only a superficial covering, and consequently, an advanced transcendentalist will not make a distinction between oneself and another. Text number 3. Sudhya sadhava loke naradeva narottama नाभिद्रुह्यन्ति bhutebhyo yarhi natma kalevaram. Synonyms. Sudhya, the most intelligent person. Sadhava, who are inclined to perform welfare activities. Loke, in this world. Naradeva, O king. Narottama, the best of human beings. Nar abhidruhyanti, never become malicious. Bhutebhya, towards other living beings. Yarhi, because. Na, never. Atma, the self or soul. Kalevaram, this body. Translation. O king, one who is advanced in intelligence and eager to perform welfare activities for others is considered best among human beings. An advanced human being is never malicious to others. Those with advanced intelligence are always conscious that this material body is different from the soul. Purport. In daily life, we find that when a madman commits murder, he is excused even by a high court judge. The idea is that a living entity is always pure because he is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he falls into the clutches of material energy, he becomes a victim of the three modes of material nature. Indeed, whatever he does under the influence of material nature. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Nakartvitam cha karmani lokasya srajati prabhu nakarma phala samyogam swabhavastu pravartate. The embodied spirit master of the city of this body does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature. Bhagavad Gita 5:14. Actually, the living entity or soul does not do anything. Everything is done under the influence of modes of material nature. When a man is deceased, the symptoms of the disease become a source of all kinds of pain. Those who are advanced in transcendental consciousness or Krishna consciousness are never envious, neither of the soul nor of the activities of the soul under the influence of material nature. Advanced transcendentalists are called Sudhiya. Sudhi means intelligence. Sudhi means highly advanced. And Sudhi means devotee. One who is both devoted and highly advanced in intelligence does not take action against the soul or the body. If there is any discrepancy, he forgives. It is said that forgiveness is a quality of those who are advanced in spiritual knowledge. Text number 4. Purushaya de muhyanti त्वादृशादेव मायया श्रम एव परम जातो दीर्घया वृद्धसेवया. Synonyms: Purusha, person, yadi, if, muhyanti, becomes bewildered, twadrishya, like you, deva, of the supreme lord, mayaya, by the energy, shrama, exertion, eva, certainly, param, only, jata, produce, dirghaya, for a long time, vriddha sevaya, by serving the superiors. Translation: if a personality like you, who are so much advanced because of executing the instructions of the previous acharyas, is carried away by the influence of my material energy, then all your advancement may be considered simply a waste of time. But in this verse, the word Vriddha Sevaya is very significant. Vriddha means old, Sevaya means by serving. Perfect knowledge is acquired from the acharyas or liberated soul. No one can be perfect in knowledge without being trained by the Parampara system. Prithu Maharaj was completely trained in that line. Therefore, he did not deserve to be considered an ordinary man. An ordinary man who has only a conception of bodily existence is always bewildered by the modes of material nature. Text number 5. Atha kayam imam vidvan avidya arabdha iti naivashmin pratibuddho nusajjate. Synonyms: Atha, therefore, kayam, body, imam, this, vidwan, he who has knowledge, avidya, by any sense, kama, desires, karmabhi, by and by the activities, aradha, created, iti, thus, na, never, eva, certainly, asmin, to this body, pratibuddhi, one who knows, anusajjate, becomes addicted. Translation: those who are in full knowledge of the bodily conception of life, who know that this body is composed of nescience, desires, and activities resulting from illusion, do not become addicted to this body, to the body. Yeah. Purport: as stated in a previous verse, those with good intent, Sudhiya, do not accept themselves to be the body. Being a creation of nescience, the body has two types of activities. In the bodily conception, when we think that sense gratification will help us, we are in illusion. Another kind of illusion is to think that one will become happy by trying to satisfy the desires that arise from the illusory body, or by attaining elevation to the higher planetary systems, or by performing various types of Vedic rituals. This is all illusion. Similarly, material activities performed for political emancipation and social and humanitarian activities performed with an idea that people of the world will be happy are also illusory, because the basic principle is the bodily conception, which is illusion. Whatever we desire or perform under the bodily conception is all illusion. In other words, Lord Vishnu informed Prithu Maharaj that although the sacrificial performances set an example for ordinary people, there was no need for such sacrificial performances as far as his personal self was concerned. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Trigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna, Nirdvando Nirtyasattvasto, Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. The Vedas mainly deal with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Rise above these modes, O Arjuna, be transcendental to all of them, be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Bhagavad Gita 245. The ritualistic performances recommended in the Vedas mainly depend on the three modes of material nature. Consequently, Arjuna was advised to transcend the Vedic activities. The activities Arjuna was advised to perform were the transcendental activities of devotional service. Text 6. अशंशक्तशरीरेऽस्मिन् अमुनोत्पादिते गृहे अपत्ये द्रविणे वापि कः कुर्यान्ममतां बुध. Synonyms: amakshata, being unattached, sharire, to the body, asmin, this, amuna, by such a bodily conception, utpadite, produce, grihe, house, apatte, children, dravine, wealth, va, or api, also, ka, who, kuryat, would do, mamatam, affinity, buddha, learned person. Translation: how can a highly learned person who has absolutely no affinity for the bodily conception of life be affected by the bodily conception in regard to house, children, wealth, and similar other bodily productions? Purport: the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies are certainly meant to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. However, by such activities, one does not factually satisfy the Lord. Rather, with the sanction of the Lord, one tries to satisfy his own senses. In other words, materialists who are especially interested in sense gratification are given permission or license to enjoy sense gratification by executing the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. That is called Traigunya Vishaya Veda. The Vedic performances are based on the three modes of material nature. Those who are elevated above the material condition are not at all interested in such Vedic performances. Rather, they are interested in the higher duties of transcendental loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such devotional service is called Nistraigunya. Devotional service to the Lord has nothing to do with the material conception of bodily comfort. Text 7. एकशुद्धः स्वयं ज्योतिर्निर्गुणो सौगुणाश्रयः सर्वगुणावृतः साक्षी निरात्मात्मानः परः. Synonyms: Eka, one, Shuddha, pure, Swayam, self, Jyoti, effulgent, Nirguna, without material qualifications. Asau, that Guna Ashraya, the reservoir of good qualities. Sarvaga, able to go everywhere. Anavrita, without being covered by matter. Sakshi, witness. Niratma, without another self. Atma, Atmana, to the body and mind. Para, transcendental. Translation: the individual soul is one, pure, non-material, and self-effulgent. He is the reservoir of all good qualities, and he is all-pervading. He is without material covering, and he is the witness of all activities. He is completely distinguished from other living entities, and he is transcendental to all embodied souls. Purport: in the previous verse, two significant words are used. Asamakshata, meaning without attachment, and Buddha, meaning fully cognizant of everything. By full cognizance, it is meant that one should know about his own constitutional position as well as the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in this verse, Lord Vishnu is describing himself or the Paramatma. The Paramatma is always distinguished from the embodied soul as well as the material world. Therefore, he has been described as Para. That Para or Supreme Personality of Godhead is Eka, meaning one. The Lord is one, whereas the conditioned souls embodied within the material world exist in many varieties of form. There are demigods, human beings, animals, trees, birds, beasts, and so forth. Thus, the living entities are not Eka, but many, as confirmed in the Vedas. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. The living entities who are many and who are entangled in this material world are not pure. However, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pure and detached. Due to being covered by the material body, the living entities are not self-effulgent. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paramatma, is self-effulgent. The living entities being contaminated by the modes of material nature are called Saguna. Whereas Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is Nirguna, not being under the influence of the material modes. The living entities being engaged in material qualities are Gunashrita, whereas the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Gunashraya. The conditioned soul's vision is covered by material contamination. Therefore, he cannot see the cause of his resultant action and he cannot see his past lives. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, not being covered by a material body, is the witness of all the activities of the living entity. But both of both of them, the living entity and the Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are Atma or spirit. They are one in quality, yet they are different in so many ways. Especially in regard to the six opulences, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has in full. Full knowledge means that the Jiva Atma, the living entity, must know both his position and the Supreme's position. That is full knowledge.
Okay, Haribol, last one.
Okay. Text 8. Text number 8. स एवं सन्तमात्मानम् आत्मस्थं वेदपुरुष नाज्यते प्रकृतिस्थोऽपि तद्गुणे समयि स्थितः. Synonyms: yeah, anyone who, evam, thus, shantam, existing, atmanam, the individual atma or the supreme personality of Godhead, Paramatma, atmastham, situated within his body, veda knows, purusha, person, na, never, ajjate is affected, prakriti in material nature, stham, situated, api, although, tadgune by the material modes of nature, sa, such a person, mai in me, sthita, situated. Translation: although within the material nature, one who is situated in full knowledge of the Paramatma and Atma is never affected by the modes of material nature, for he is always situated in my transcendental loving service. But when the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in this material world, he is not affected by the modes of material nature. Similarly, those who are always connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though they be within the material body or the material world, are not affected by the material qualities. That is explained very nicely in the Bhagavad Gita. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatvetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, one who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Bhagavad Gita 14:26. Thus, one who is unflinchingly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord surpasses the material qualities and attains Brahman realization. In this connection, Srila Rupa Goswami says that if a person is always engaged in the service of the Lord with his body, words, and mind, he is to be considered liberated, although living in the material world. Hari Bol. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu. चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादवाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मास्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
नाम गाय बहुधानि सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पितानि स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तो कृपा भगवान् ममापि दुर्दैवमे विस्मयानन्नानुरागः
ऋणादपि सुनिचेन करोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिन मानदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरि नन्दनं न जन्मनं
नन्दनन्दनं सुन्दरीं कवितां जगदीशकामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे होतात् भक्तिरहेतुकीर्तये
अयनन्दतनुजा
Yes, Bhagwan.
अयनन्दतनुजा किङ्करां पतितां मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तय
नयनं गलदस्सुतारया वदनं गदगदहृदया गिरा पुलकनिर्जितं वपुः कथा तव नाम ग्रहणे पस्ते
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्राविशायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्द विरहेण मे
अश्लिष्टवापादृतां पुनष्टमाम् अदर्शनान् मर्महतां करोतु यथा तथा वा विद्धातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव न परः
Haribol. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
Oh my Lord, your holy alone can render all pendants clean beings, and thus you have earned some millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names, O my Lord. Out of kindness, you never lost to approach you by chanting your holy name. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should more tolerant than a devoid of all sense of false prestige and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O son of Marananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be great with tear of love flowing constant, even I chant your holy name. When will my voice choke open, when will the hairs of my body stand on end at citation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your suppression, I am considering a moment to like to yes more tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord and his sentiments. Even if he handles me roughly in his embrace, or makes me broken hearted by not being present before me, he is completely fit to do anything and everything, for he is always my worship, Lord, unconditionally.
Haribo, Shri Siksastakam ki jai.
Jai,
श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय।
Jai.
jai. बहु जन्म करे यदि श्रवण कीर्तन तो बुद्ध न पाए कृष्ण पदे प्रेम धन. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of Lord.
Second offense is to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu.
Third offense is to disobey the order of teacher master or consider him a ordinary living being.
Fourth offense is to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version.
Fifth offense is to consider the glory of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination.
Sixth offense is to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense is to commit sinful activities on the stand of the holy name of Lord.
Eighth offense is to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as root activities Karma Kanda.
Ninth offense is to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
Tenth offense is to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhishya kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Nanda Kole Vaishnavanta ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai,
jai, Gaura
Jai,
Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for your association. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. See you tomorrow on the East Coast session. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.